Hi, my name is Adam Coleman. I'm a writer, frequent contributor to the New York Post. I'm a columnist for Human Events, and I've written for multiple publications. And I'm also an author of this book, Black Victim to Black Victor. And inside the book, I talk about sort of a taboo topic of race, but in the meat of it, I'm talking about families, advocating for children, and I even detail my childhood, talking about growing up in a single-parent home and what that was like for me as a kid, and not having a relationship with my father. So in much of my writings, I advocate for children. I encourage the nuclear family, and the reason being is because these things have factually beneficial for our children. And amongst those things that are beneficial for our children is the importance of education. Now, I do believe, and I don't know if this is considered a taboo thing to say, and I'll admittedly say that I was one of these people. I believe that many Americans send their kids off to a government-run school and hope for the best. And their idea of education is basically letting the professionals do it, and they react to what the professionals say. They tell their kids to listen to the teacher, do as they're told, beyond behavior, and just listen to what they're saying. And I think that as parents, we've taken a step back from education. We've outsourced our parental duties as educators. And education is more than just math and science, but it's about common sense. It's about awareness. It's about life. And these are the type of things that we need to also be encouraging for our kids, to think for themselves, to be aware of people who are manipulative. We talk about stranger danger, you would tell your kids, but what does that danger look like when they're teenagers, right? What does that danger look like when they're adults? And I think education comes into play these days because many of these manipulative people exist within the educational environment. We talk about wanting to protect our children from people who are predators, and some of them are in our schools, and they've always been in our schools. But how do you protect them from that? You have to have these conversations with your kids. You have to be engaged in their education, and their education is crucial to their success in life. Just to say a little bit about myself, my son was going through something very similar, struggling in school, not because he's having trouble understanding what's going on, but he's struggling because the environment is toxic. He started going to a different school, and this is a poor performing school. He's sitting in a room where the teachers don't care, where the teachers don't show up. He's learning things that he learned the year before when he was at a different school, a better performing school, and a school that he was excelling in. But now he's at a school that is not ranked as high, lacks educational standards, and lacks an environment that is safe. He started getting bullied as well. And it came to a point where his situation had me realize that I need to do more. I need to step up. And he didn't want to go back to the school. And so I encouraged him not to go back to the school, because as a father, the first thing you're supposed to do is protect your children. And sending him into that school serves what purpose? So I got more involved in his education. I got more involved in his education because he started homeschooling. And I am not an educational expert, but we're trying our best. But he's also much older now. This would be his senior year if he was still within school. So, I wanted to live by example, especially because the circumstance called for it, rather than leave him in the hands of people who don't care, or if they do care, they're incapable of changing it. leaving them in an environment that is toxic with children who are coming from homes that where the parents don't care their educational standards, and it reflects to their behavior within school. And then the kids who do care get left behind because the kids who create chaos are more distracting. And I think that situation was a wake-up call amongst other situations, being around parents who are facing schools who are trying to purposely indoctrinate their kids, ask them questions about their gender. And all of these things, to me, seem predatory. They seem confusing for kids. And I think it's about time that American parents wake up. And, the school that I went to doesn't seem to exist much in America these days. It's not that every school is bad. It's far from. There are great schools that are out there, great government-run schools that are out there. But I think we need to be more aware that the well has been poisoned. These administrators, they come in from particular schools, have a particular political lean, and not even just who they vote for or anything like that, but their ideology, what they believe. And it's beyond what they believe, because we live in a free country, you can believe whatever you want, but is it what they want to teach your children? And that's the part we need to start questioning. Why exactly do they want to confuse our children? Why exactly are they trying to teach our children things that are purposefully divisive, things that are against what we've, I'm almost 40 years old, things against these things that we were never taught this within our schools. We were never encouraged this. We were encouraged to do the opposite, to see each other as individuals, right? The differences between us are small and mostly insignificant, and that for the most part we should treat each other with respect, regardless of what you believe, what you look like, or even down to what you're attracted to. Just treat people like you want to be treated. And I think there are people who are out there who are in these schools who are so ideological, and part of their ideology is that they must convert. They must convert your children into believing what they believe, because this is the right way to be in the world. And last I checked, these teachers are not supposed to be teachers of morality for our kids. We're supposed to be the teachers of morality. So, with that being stated, thank you for listening to what I have to say. I apologize I wasn't able to show up. But thank you, and God bless.